Everyone. So in our last video, we have discussed all these points like create Open API key and connecting Open AI API into the Spring Boot application, and then connect backend application with front end chatbot applications. And we discussed how to implement chat memory using in-memory storage and Postgres, all this stuff. So today, we are going to discuss how to integrate our the same backend Spring Boot backend application with Google Gemini API and then Groq AI API and Google Vertex AI APIs, and how to create a template for our input prompt to the LLM APIs. Okay, and for lastly, we are going to see how to structure the LLM API response into different format like a list format, map format, even a Java, how to convert the response into Java object. So these are the things we are going to discuss today. Let's get started. Okay, so I'm going to use our same application we- application which we created the last time. Okay, so if you remember, like we created the controller, and then we created the config file, and we tracked with the LLM, the a OpenAI API LLM model, and then we got a response. So let me just open here. Okay, so let me refresh the front-end application. Okay, I'm just checking whether the application is working right now or not. Okay, we got a control here. Let me check the. Okay, so we got a response from OpenAI API. If you go here and check our console, you can see the response. If you remember well, like we have added simple logger advisor so that we'll get all these details. The prompt which we are giving to LLM API, and then the response we have received from LLM the OpenAI API. So today, as I said, let's connect with Gemini AI API first. Okay. So for that, like we don't need to modify any code here. We just need to create the configuration file. That's it. Um, Let me create it. Application Gemini. Okay, I'm just creating separate the configuration file. Here we need to add a few configurations like a base URL, completion. We already discussed for OpenAI API, right? Same kind of configuration we have to do it for Gemini API, Google Gemini API as well. So before that, let's discuss this how to create a Gemini API key. Okay, so in the AI Studio, okay, you have to go enter into AI Studio and API key. You see here in this section, you have to create a new API key. Okay, so uh, for me, I already created it, so I'm going to use same API key. If you want to create a new API key, Gemini API key, you can just go here and add a name and then create a key. And we have to note down this API key secretly. Otherwise, if you forget, then you have to delete it and create newly. Okay. So in my case, I already created it, so I'm going to use that. Okay. And as I said, we need to add a few configurations for Gemini API details. Okay. So here I have added the base URL of generative language.googleapi.com. This is a base URL for Gemini API, and then the completion path. I mean, this is same as our OpenAI, right? And here, instead of OpenAI API key, I just used Gemini API key. This is nothing but I have created the environment variables as a Gemini API key with the actual API key. Okay. In Windows, you have to add as environment variables. If you are using Mac, you can export as the Gemini API key equal to the actual key. So, and this is a the chat model. Okay, I'm using Gemini 2.5 Flashlight. This is a free uh, model. Okay, so we are good. So let me run this application with a different profile. Okay, so right now I just added this active profile as Gemini so that this will be used. This new Gemini API details will be used. Okay, I'm gonna restart the applications. Okay, application is started. Let me go here and refresh it. Okay, now hello. We got a control here. Okay, so we got a response as well. Okay. Okay, if you see here, instead of going to the request going to OpenAI, now it's going to our request is going to Gemini, and then we got a response also from Google Gemini API. Here you can see the Gemini API details like the ID, model, and how many tokens, the completion tokens, total tokens, all these details. Okay. So we basically we got a response from Gemini, Google Gemini AI API. Okay. We are good. We are good. Next, let's check for some other provider. Like let's check for the Groq. Okay. So for that, let me create a new configuration file. I'll call it as application block dot properties. Okay. So before that, let's create a API key in the Groq as well. So in the console.groq.com site, you can create the API key. Okay. So here you can click on create a API key and then give a name and set a expiration, no expiration, or 7 days, 30 days, 60 days, 90 days, and even you can customize it. In my case, I already created, and the same secret key I exported as Groq API key. Okay, let me. Okay, so we already created the API key for Groq. Let's add the configuration for this Groq AI API. Okay, the same kind of configuration we have to add, like the base URL, completion path, and Groq API key. This is what I exported as an environment variable, and this is the model, the free model. I'm using it. Okay, and I have added this configuration, and I'll edit the active profile instead of Gemini. Let me use Groq. Apply. Okay, and then I'm gonna restart the application. Okay, application is started. Let me go to the browser again, refresh it. I'm sending another prompt, just hello. Okay, he's hi, everything okay. So we got a response. Let's go and check the log from where we get the response. Okay, in the prompt section, you can see like this is our prompt. OpenAI options. Okay, so here you can clearly see right this Groq model details. We got a response also from Groq. Okay, so basically we have done the Google Gemini AI API and Groq API. the next one is let's check for Google Vertex AI API. Okay, so this is basically like instead of creating the API key in the Google Gemini, we will use the Vertex API, Vertex AI API. Okay. Mhm. Okay, I am here. In my case, in the console.cloud.google.com, I'm in Vertex AI API screen. I already enabled this API, and also I created service accounts for this. Service accounts. Okay. Here, if you see here, chatbot service, I already create a service account as well. So in the permissions, I give a permission as Vertex AI administrator. Okay. So now, but here the thing is, I haven't added any billing. So let's try it. Um, because this Vertex API is needed the billing actually. Let's try whether it's working or not. If not, then let's check it. But approach is same. Okay, even with the Google Gemini API or Groq API and this Vertex AI API are similar. Just I'm going to change the configurations. Mm, and maybe that's Vertex properties. Okay, here we need to add few configurations. Okay, so here this is my project ID. Instead of base URL and the API key, all the stuff, I just need to add the project ID and the locations, the region where we created our projects, and then the model and the temperature we already discussed in the last class itself. Okay, now I think here one small change. We cannot use same dependencies here. We have to use our vertex dependency instead of OpenAI. Okay, I'm going to replace these dependencies and let me refresh them now. Now what I'm going to do instead of Groq, I'm changing to vertex. Now I restart my application. Okay, application is started. Let's check whether this vertex API is working or not. Hello. Okay, we have some issues. Permission denied. So this API method requires billing. Yeah, I told right, like we need to enable the billing. So if you enable the billing, then it will start work. Okay. So, what is the difference between the Vertex AI API and Gemini AI API, right? Actually, the Gemini API is a very lightweight. Okay. Um, it just for the developers can use it and test with the simple API keys, and they can test it. This is very lightweight, right? But the Vertex API is a enterprise grade platform. Like even the business level application can use that. It provides advanced control, scalability, integrations with other cloud services. Although it's giving many services, that is the only thing. That's the reason. If you see, that they have disabled the free access. Okay, that is the main difference of this. Let's move on. Okay, the same way you can explore in different AI provider like Open Router, DeepSeek, and DMR, and we have many AI API provider, right? We can explore all these things. Okay, but it's ideally it's everything is almost same. Okay. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to change these dependencies. Okay. So instead of text dependency, I'm using just OpenAI. And now I'll change back to Gemini. Okay. So now we have completed step 8, step 9, steps 10. Okay, let's move on to prompt template. Okay, so basically, the prompt template, like we can design the prompt. We can add a prompt. We can give a system messages. We already giving user messages. That is our prompt. But also we can give a system message, and then we can have the template, the format of the input we are giving to the LLM API. Okay, basically the system message in the system message you can set a style, tone, and behavior how the LLM should uh, consider our prompt, like whether it is in knowledgeable mode or some funny mode, a different mode, different tone we can set it. Okay, so without this is kind of system message, the API will just behave like in generic way. Like if you are giving prompt and it will return back some responses in the generic way. We do not set any tone, like it will not like in a uh, we can set a different tone, right? The enthusiastic mode or a very um, the factual answers, structured answers, and if you are giving, if you want to guide someone, we can add some kind of we can set some kind of tone. Okay, so these are the things we can do it actually. Let's discuss one by one. Okay. Mm. So basically, yeah, we have. So this is the we have only one API. So let me create a new API. Okay, like here I'm just returning output directly. Okay, I'm not returning any response entity or something. This is just I'm showing how to create a system message, all this stuff. Okay. Okay. So I already created this API. Here, if you see, we are setting the system prompt. Okay, you are wise mentor, you guide users patiently, offering thoughtful advice and clear. Okay, we are setting the tone. This is just a string message and we are passing it into system message. Okay, if you go here, uh, so whatever message we are passing, it will consider the message type as system. Okay, so we have a different many message type: user, assistant, system, tool. Okay, the user which we are giving the prompt. Basically, in our case, we are just giving the prompt as input right in the chatbot. And we have assistants, we have system and tool. System, the system message we are going to set it right now, and tool and assistant maybe uh, we can check in the next class, next video. Okay. Okay, I'm going to set a system message and the user message. This is our prompt. Okay, so if you go here, the message type is user. Mm. And we are passing our list of messages into prompt, and then we are sending that particular prompt to our chat client. Okay, let's restart. Vertex AI project must be set. Okay, what's the problem? Do we have why Vertex to set here? We do not have any Vertex dependencies. Oh, okay. I think we forgot to refresh our POM file. Okay, the application is started. So now what I'm gonna do, let's check directly from here in the using Swagger. Okay. So now let's try it out. We need to pass input, right? Param prompt. Okay, we need to guide how to become an AI engineer. Okay, so basically we set a prompt like the mentor way. If you see here, okay, so we got a response. Hmm, we got a response also here as well. If you see here, response body, an excellent aspiration. The field of artificial intelligence is truly one of the most exciting and rapidly evolving areas of technology today. Okay, becoming an engineer is a journey that requires dedications, strong foundation of the stuff. So basically, it's giving the mentor kind of message. Since we said you are a wise mentor, you are giving your guide users. So it's giving guidance. Okay. Now let me comment to this and enable this one. Now you are knowledgeable assistants. You always provide accurate, detailed, and well-structured answers. Okay, now let me restart. Okay, application is started. Now again, I'm sending the same request. Okay, so now, okay, you can see aspiration. The field of artificial intelligence is truly one of the most exciting and rapidly evolving technologies. But if you see here, this is well structured now. So we are asked, right, the core knowledge. We set a different tone. Last time we set a mentor tone, now the knowledgeable assistants. So, and well structured answers. Now you are getting well structured answers. So this is how we can set a system message and tell the LLM like this is the tone and I need an answer for this like that. Okay. Next, um, let's create a prompt template. Okay. Uh, Basically, using this prompt template, we are going to parameterize AI prompts. Like dynamically, you can change the values, and you can give some inputs, and then so based on the dynamic value, it will send the prompt will send it to the LLM. Okay, what is the use of this prompt template? Right, it is a reusable. The same template can be used for multiple inputs, and it is flexible and yeah. So that we are telling to the AI like this is a template. This is a format, and we are giving it for different inputs. Okay, so this is how we are efficiently use the prompt. Okay, let's create a new API and I already created for this. Let me, okay, so if you see here, before that, I need to create a model. Let me have it as a record, okay? I'm not blank. Category, mm, not null, since this is a integer, integer suggestions. Basically, how many suggestions we need. Okay, that's all we need now. I'm importing this class, and that's it. So here, if you see, I'm working on a new, this is our prompt template, okay? And this category, what kind of categories we need and how many suggestions we need, okay? So the prompt is uh, I'm working on a new product in the following category, okay? Please suggest a number of creative and catchy product names, okay? Right, let me restart this. So basically, we have this template and we are mapping it, and then finally we created as a message and pass it to the chat client. Okay, our application is started. Let me test it from Swagger itself. So here we need category. I'll give artificial intelligence. Okay, and then suggestions. How many suggestions we need? Maybe 8 suggestions. Okay, let me send this request. Bad request. What happened? Let's check it. Category is fine. Okay, caps. That's a problem. Okay, we got a suggestions. We got a response. Now let me expand this. There is the existing landscape. The first suggestion, move our mind, and it's giving some descriptions. The second one, synopsis flow, all the stuff. Okay, let's see the response here. Okay, so here we got a response with the 8 suggestions. Let's see, where is number 6 here? 7, 8, ecologic. Okay, so basically we got 8 suggestions. So this is the next time maybe you can send a different category, different number of suggestions with the same prompt. Okay, we will get the same prompt can be used multiple times. That is the advantage of this prompt. Okay, next what we'll do. So instead of having this prompt, the hard-coded prompt, we can have it as a different file. Okay, in the resource folder. Like, let me create a separate file. For example, new file. I'm going to create a LinkedIn message. Okay, link LinkedIn system message. We have to use .st format. I think you can use text format as well, not a problem. But for now, I'm using ST format. Here, I'm say giving tone to LLM like you are a professional and engaging as a assistant. You generate a LinkedIn post that are concise, insightful, and tailored for the business audience. Always maintain a positive professional tone and encourage the interactions. So we do not give any uh, the wrong message or unwanted stuff. Okay, so we are just ensuring that. For that, we need a we need to create a resource. Okay. Mm, we we just have a chat client, right? So let's create a resource. Private final. Basically, this resource will get the details from our configuration file. Resource, call it as LinkedIn system message resource. Okay. So here we need Spring Framework Core IO. Okay. For this, we need to include in the constructor injection, right? Resource, LinkedIn resource, and here we have chat client already. This dot LinkedIn system as a resource equal to, but where we'll get the resource? We have to get it from the configuration, right? For that, value we have to give class path, right? Class path prompts create a LinkedIn system message. What's the problem? Okay, we have to put this file inside prompts folder. Prompts. Okay, I have placed here. So now instead of hard coding this template, we are just and hard coding this tone. We are having it in the file. Okay, so we are good till now. Let's create a separate API again. Okay, here we have created separate API. And next I'll restart the application. Okay, application is started. Let me rerun Swagger. Try it out. We have to pass the prompt, right? Prompt. So here, AI engineer, AI engineer, uh, TikTok post. Okay, I'm giving this prompt. Let me send this. So it will consider all our the tones mentioned here. Okay, so if you see here, here are a few options for AI engineer TikTok post. So we got a response with all the details, very detailed response. Okay, so we will be driving, mention the general area, advanced ML technologies, date, time. So with the general format, we got the response. So this is the advantage. Like instead of uploading the few steps, we can have it in the file, and the, we can have it in class path or somewhere else, and we can use that particular file because since sometimes like the system message tone we have to set is with the huge lines of code, right? So instead of using this hardcoded stuff, we can have it in the separate file. That is the main advantage of this approach. Okay. So finally, we are good with step uh, 11. Let's move on to structured output, the final one. Okay. So basically, like I mean, we are this is like we are formatting our output and send it back. We'll format the LLM response in the specific order. Like we can have different kind of the formatter, like the list output converter, map output converter, even bean output converter. Like list output converter, like it will convert the response as a list, okay? And map as map, like it will providing the formatting instructions with like in the map format. Maybe it will be looks like the JSON object, right? So that is the advantage. Then lastly, like we have a bean converter, like we can like we can serialize the string response, LLM response into the Java object. So that is the advantage. Okay, we'll see one by one. First, let's see the list output. How to get convert the LLM response as a list. Okay, let's do that. Let me go to my ID. Okay, so I'll create a separate API. Here, let me create a response object here. I create as a record. So like here, product name response. Okay, so we'll get the products, okay, as a list. Let me have it as a list of string. and next I'll call it as names. Let me import that package and let me import that class as well. So here we have the same kind of template, and we have the output converter, list output converter, and then and we are passing this converter. We are mapping this converter. See, if you see here, in previously we just had a category and suggestions. Now we have a formatter. This formatter also we are passing it to um, the ALM API. Okay, so finally, like it will automatically convert the response, and then we are sending it back. Okay, so uh, this is the way we can convert our the response into the list format. Okay, let me restart it. Okay, application is started. Let me test it. Mhm. Try it out. Here we need to pass category, right? Category, maybe machine learning, machine learning, and suggestions. How many suggestions we need? Maybe again, uh, 5 suggestions for now. Okay, let me execute. We got a suggestions. Okay, here, if you see, this response is converted. Uh, Machine learning, yeah, converted as a list. Okay, if you see here, you can have a list, and in the response, see, it's assigned to the names. This is the response, product name response, right? So algorithmic and predictive, pattern IQ, TensorFlow, data mine. So this is the way you can format our response. Next, let's see uh, the map converter. Okay, map output converter. Let me create a new API for that. Okay, so here we just have the prompt template. We are not passing anything, just a formatter. That formatter is output, the map formatter. That's it. We don't need to pass any prompt for now. Okay, so application is started. Let me test it. This is just a get API, and I'm going to call this. See, we are just getting the programming languages and the year of started. That's what we are getting, written all popular programming language and their inception year. So that is the thing. Okay, so here if you see this JSON, the map formatter, key value format, right? We got it. So finally, like we need a bean converter, right? We have to convert a bean. Basically, like we need to deserialize the LLM response into Java object. Okay, for that, let's create a new class. We call it as record. Okay, fine. Um, So for that, we string. We need a content, right? And then list of hashtags. So basically, now we are going to deserialize LLM response into this Java object. So that's the plan. Let's create a new API for this. Okay, let's create it. Okay, so if you see here, we have created new API, and with the input, just an input, and then the same file. Remember, we are getting this stone as a system message, and here generate a LinkedIn post for the following content. Content like content will be considered as the prompt which we are giving. Okay, the format will be bean formatter, bean output formatter. That format is nothing but our LinkedIn post class. Just we just created the record, right? Same. We are going to use it. Let me restart it. Application is started. Let's test. Now we need to pass the prompt, right? Try it out. So prompt. So what do we need? Maybe you know, talk about generative AI. Happy? So this, let me send out this request. Okay, request being sent. Now just trapped fantastic. So we got the content, the AI content. Sorry, the LinkedIn post. The hashtags. See, if you see, these are the list of hashtags we can use it. It's already been used here. So basically, now we got this LLM response is converted into. So this is the raw response, but it's converted into it deserialized to Java objects. That is the use of bean output converter. So I think we are good. So to summarize the things, we explored a different AI provider API integrations like Google Gemini, Groq AI, Google Vertex AI, and the stuff, and um, we gone through like how to create a templates, how to set a tone to the LLM API for a prompt, and lastly, we have seen like how to structure our output in the different format like sys list format, map format, key map, nothing but is a key value format, and finally deserialize into Java objects. So I think we are good. I hope it is some good, very good content. And next, maybe we can see like what we can see. Maybe like mm, yeah, RAG and vector store implementations, and then maybe tool calling, MCP client, MCP server implementations, the stuff. Maybe we can explore in the upcoming videos. So thank you. That's it for now. Thank you. Thank you so much. Bye.